Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and digitally pictured on your screen is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with Back to School Wisconsin Badger 2027-2028 season. A hot start. Jeff, despite losing hundreds of players, no, I'm kidding. Despite losing our best players, though,
Yeah.
we're actually performing quite well on the season, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, we got a really bad news to start off this year. First, our best defenseman by probably quite a bit, Carson Steinhoff, signs with Detroit in the offseason. Was he a first rounder? He was late first rounder. And we weren't really expecting that just yet. He didn't have a spectacular season last year, but did wind up signing with the Wings. And it looks like, looking at his record right now, he started in Grand Rapids, did okay for the first half dozen games, and got himself a call up. And he's played in a couple of games for the Wings so far. So that seems to be working out okay for him. And then the surprise, Hiroki Gosek, who was a seventh rounder for Columbus a couple of years ago, and had a really big season last year, 46 points in 35 games, surprised us and signed with Columbus. And he was going to be our starting center this year. It looks like he's playing the wing in the AHL, and 8 points through his first 13 games. So not a bad start for him. Would have liked to have had him back this year, but that really messed up our plan for this season because we, particularly at center, because we didn't really have anybody ready to go after him. But inexplicably, we've started the season 12-0, and we've got the guys that we put in. The big one is Mason St. Louis, who's Marty St. Louis' son, and is probably going to, the way things have gone, he's probably going to be gone after this season. But he's had an incredible start, 30 points in the first dozen games. And Leo Saint Michel, who's his winger, has also been doing pretty well. And we had to plug in somebody. The original plan was to put in Isaac Lindstrom, who's basically sort of a two-way center, in the first line spot. He got hurt early, though. So what we did wind up doing is putting in Lucas Kaplan, who was a pretty big recruit 2 years ago. But then when he first came in, he was causing some team harmony issues right off the start. Played him a little bit that year, and then last year he barely got into the lineup. It looked like he was, on the verge of being pretty much a washout. But thanks to this spot opening up, and eventually on the first line spot, he's got 16 points in his first 12 games, and he's kind of resurrected his career.
Nothing wrong with that.
So where we are right now, 12-0, first in the country according to the poll. And I guess we'll just pretty much see if we can keep rolling here. Do I need to? Charest, should he be? Was I deliberately leaving him up? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, he's got 6 points in his first 5 games. Oh, Sheldrake, the half-star rookie. I mean, he's got 5-star potential, but probably a little bit overwhelmed right now to put him in as a regular player. The other thing that's working out nicely, Akason, who was a surprise first-round pick last year after having a really, wrong guy, slow start to his career with us. 7 points in his first 29 games last season. But now he's up to 15 points in his first 12 games. He's up to 2 stars. He had been sitting on, I think, 1.5 or 1 for pretty much all of last year. So it looks like he's got his development going. So everything seems to be working. And we'll see how well it's working because we got a game against Michigan today. And just, go straight into that. Everything looks good. And, see, another 9-0 blowout win. And Jax Ascot, one of the other guys, is getting center time this year because of the spots opening up. And in addition to losing Gosek, we had another guy who was probably going to play in the first 2 lines. Didn't qualify academically, so he's redshirting this year. So there are basically two big chunks of ice time to open up at center. Wow, 62-14. Outshot them. So just a totally one-sided game against Michigan. I think part of what's going on here, I kind of suspect this, because we started this game with an feeling it was pretty close to release. I think this may be actually the release version of the database last year, and it turned out that there were some issues with the talent pool for the college teams, and I addressed that in probably a few different times, and upgrading the situation in the database and changing a couple of the way player development paths work for college-bound players, and it should be much better if you start a game now. But right now, the rosters are looking a little thin on some of the college teams. Although it was the Big Ten in particular was a mess. As we looked at a few of the other conferences, and I remember the rosters weren't quite as bad for them. But something's gone badly wrong with the Big Ten, and most of these teams can't really compete with us. So, I'd assume this is going to be another lopsided win. I'll put the backup in against Michigan in the second game of the back-to-back, and 9-0 again. So the rest of the conference just isn't in our league at this point. Average score right now is 90 goals for over 14 games, about 6.5 goals for, 1 goal against. And of course, we'll wind up going through the entire regular season undefeated, and probably losing the first round of the national tournament, because that's the way this game has gone so far.
Well, yeah, definitely. Can't look much more than that.
Okay, college hockey poll. Not surprisingly, we're still number one. Another thing that will keep this something in FH that's going to be an FHM 10. I think I'm okay to say it now. Will be we've got the transfer portal added. So if you've got players, we've been able to accumulate. You can see the number of good goalies we've got. Probably any of these, like we've got 5 guys, all of whom could probably start for most of the teams in the league. And in real life, some of these guys wouldn't be happy with sitting around, and they've got the transfer portal now in the NCAA, so they can go move to a different team. But that can't happen in this version of the game, but we will have the transfer portal in next year, or this year, or this upcoming year, whatever you want to call it. Province College. Now, not a conference game. We'll see if this is closer. 4-0. We haven't. How many shutouts in a row have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we haven't been scored on in, good God, 5-game shutout streak going.
Sweet. I think that means you're doing something right.
Yeah, not letting anybody shoot at us. 80 goal differential, 15 games into the season.
Oh, why need someone to shoot at you when you can stop everything?
Although I seem to remember us getting off to a really quick start a couple of other years. And after December or so, it really starts to go downhill. So we'll see if that happens again this year. Okay, UMass Lowell, in one of the rare weeks on the schedule where we don't have the back-to-back games against teams, and we'll give Cam the backup. Will be the starter next year.
You okay there?
Yep.
I hear fire or sirens going by. I think your background.
Nope, nothing here. Look out your window.
No, I hear it coming through you.
Definitely no sirens or anything here.
I don't hear it now.
But anyhow, 6-2 win, so there goes the shutout streak, but undefeated streak keeps rolling. Either that or my... hang on, I take my headphones off for a second.
I don't hear it now.
Nope, it's quiet.
Well, yeah.
Can you
But it
still
might
hear?
have been somebody going by, I guess. No, I can't. Just
No,
want to
really,
make
it
sure
wouldn't really be
wasn't
good.
on fire.
No, it wouldn't be going by because the corner I'm on is it's sort of in like the bottom corner of an L-shaped street, so you can't drive by quickly. And if the ambulances come in here, it's generally to retrieve somebody who's had a heart attack or something from the one of the buildings.
Okay, well, hopefully everything's good wherever it is then, anyways.
Yeah, everything's fine. Yep. Okay, so San Luis has fallen out of the points leaders. Although still leading on goals. Presumably we are still number one in the country. Yep, 16 now.
I don't know how you wouldn't be.
Anybody else undefeated? Nope. Dartmouth and Yale are both with one loss, although Yale's got a couple of overtime losses. Anybody? Yes. See, look how. Where's the Big Ten? Not a single one. So presumably they're losing their interconference games too. Who's second place? Michigan State is 12-4. But even, yeah, look how thin they are. A lot of half-star guys.
I hate how I have to stop and think about who the Brown Bears are.
I mean, it sounds like a nickname on its own.
Well, that's what I mean. Brown Bears, what team is that? Oh, yeah, right.
I wonder if anybody's gone from the Brown Bears to the Wolfsburg Grizzly Adams.
I hope so.
Gotta be
That should be an immediate
point.
pipeline. Someone's got to be able to do some research on that.
Okay, development report. The first part of it is going to be the guys who aren't with us yet. Good numbers coming along there. Caden Aucoin, Adrian Aucoin's son, up to, I don't know if he's up to 2.5 stars, but a little bit of improvement there. Flynn coming along, good. San Luis continuing to improve. And, oh no, he's not with us yet. He's playing in the Maritime Junior League.
He's got a long time before he gets here. Only 16.
Agerson is 2.5 stars. Was he at 2 before this? Start of this? I think he may have gotten another half star.
Let me look here really quick.
Just doing the monthly budget while you do that.
He was at 2 stars, yes.
Okay, so yeah, he's really moving along now. Bump up the morale a little bit, although they should be happy that the way things are going already. 100 goals for in the first 16 games, 16 goals against.
Not bad at all.
Not surprisingly, the athletic director says we're doing great. Serious contender, and
what else would he say?
Actually says we're going to be rebuilding next year.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you thought you were rebuilding this year.
True. We do have, what's our graduating senior list look like? Okay, Scan, the captain, who's actually having a great year, up 5 stars. Okay, 2 fairly important defensemen gone. A couple of guys off the left wing. Lindstrom, the center, who is, I guess, on the number one spot now. That was the other thing with this version of the database. The players are tending to be a little bit too old. Lindstrom's 25 already. And Roman Zapp, great name, who's been sort of the third, fourth line center for the last couple of years.
Solid player doing solid things.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking, I think, was it last week or the week before, about that, what the CJHL Junior A League is doing with with the 3 BC Junior B leagues, KIJHL, VIJHL.
I think we were talking about that off stream, but
no, we talked about it a little bit on stream. I think we did both, actually. Yeah.
We talked about it more off stream, I know. But.
Yeah, just apparently it's not. They're not going to be full blown Junior A leagues next year. They've created this sort of nebulous
junior. Yeah, it's Junior A's Tier 2 or something.
Yeah, so it's not. I'm not going to make them or give them the same status at the BCHL as in the game. They'll still be. I may make some internal adjustments to the way players get routed to them, but I don't think anything's going to be changing substantially in the way that in the level of talent those players get. Or
But do you
those
see the
leagues get.
BCHL dropping a bit? Because I think they might.
Hard to say. As long as they can, still keep producing players.
Well, there's going to be some guys who want to still have a chance to play for Canada stuff that they're not going to get now. I don't think.
Are the BCHL guys aren't eligible for Team Canada now?
I doubt they will be if they're not a part of Hockey Canada.
I'd know
I
if you
would
got some.
I would bet they wouldn't.
I mean, if you got a situation like when Paul Correa was playing for Penticton when he was 17, you really want to leave that guy off the national team?
Hockey Canada probably would. I wouldn't be shocked anyways.
Yeah, I mean hockey. So don't get started on Hockey Canada. Okay,
So
Michigan.
Jeff, sorry, you're talking about something about like the portal, and I'm curious. We've seen in the last couple years, occasionally,
Just to play
not
this game against
not all the
Michigan
time.
State, the one decent team we got in the conference, and we beat them 5-2. Go ahead.
Nice. We've occasionally seen players leave mid-season or late in the season to come while the NCAA season is still going on and sign in the NHL. Do you see that being something that might happen in a future version of the game?
Maybe in the future, but it's really messy to do that in a way that doesn't happen consistently and would really screw up and make for an unpleasant experience if you're playing a college team.
And you just start losing your prospects left and right.
Yeah, okay. Michigan
I
State.
can't help but wonder if that's going to be a more thing that happens more often.
And another blowout win, 7-1 game against Michigan State. I don't know. I mean, if anything, you'd figure the fact that they've got, with the transfer portal, they've got more options now. They're not stuck with the team that they originally went to, or it's not necessarily a choice between that and the pros. It might be a choice between them going to another college team that gives them more playing time, or turning pro. But I mean, you figure if they're getting drafted anyhow, they shouldn't be having difficulties getting playing time unless it's something like the Michigan team a couple of years ago that was ridiculously loaded.
Yeah, who knows? Hard to say.
But anyhow, yeah, the transfer portal will be in FHM 10, and it'll be a lot harder to stockpile players because they'll, if they're sitting on the bench after 2 years and have barely played, and they've got 5-star potential, they're going to go looking somewhere else.
Jeff dropping big information on the stream tonight.
And there's
Is that the first new feature you've revealed?
no, I remember. Well, I can't think about it now because if I accidentally mentioned the wrong thing that I revealed before,
I think that might be the
trick
first
me into
one.
giving more stuff out.
I think that might be the first one, Jeff. I'm sure somebody might correct us in the chat if that is the case. Yeah. We are, as we should be mentioning, we are streaming currently on 3 different platforms right now, including twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager, twitch.tv/OTB developments, as well as our Steam page, and I'm doing my best to watch all 3 chats, if anything comes up.
Yeah, and we are in the Christmas break right now, I think, so it'll be a little bit before we get to the next game. Yeah, and then things are moving along nicely with FHM 10. I was just looking over the list of stuff that we've added so far. Looking pretty solid. No, I shouldn't say anything yet on that. There's one thing that's tempting to say right now that's sort of semi-related to this, but now we'll hold that back for a while yet.
Oh, just nicely teasing everybody who's watching. I like it. I like it.
But yeah, hopefully we're going to start doing at least a little bit of play testing very soon. We're a little ahead of the game in terms of where we'd normally be for graphics this year. Just in terms of having stuff done and being able to put out a semi-playable version of the game to test on. So we're going to take advantage of that and start testing a little bit earlier than we did last year. And hopefully we won't be stuck having to wait to release it next like we did last time. We can get that out a little bit earlier for this year.
So what you're saying is the game will be released before December 31st, 2023.
I'd say that's probably a good bet, yes.
Well, second bit of news, Jeff, officially confirmed.
Oh, World Juniors. We had Marty San Luis, or Mason San Luis, Marty's son, is playing for Team USA and had 3 assists in a win over Switzerland.
Nice.
And 1 assist in a 5-2 win over Slovakia. And what's going on with the World Juniors?
Oh, sorry, Jeff. I gotta step away for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. So Canada undefeated so far, and the U.S. also undefeated, and Sweden as well. So keep an eye on that. And we got a game coming up a couple of days against Still IU. And one other thing I can mention that we obviously there's going to be a couple of new teams in the playable in the NCAA next year. Robert Morris, who's coming back, and now why am I drawing a blank on this? Stonehill College. Oh wait, no, was Stonehill the one that didn't have the? No, I may have that wrong. There was one team. There were actually 3 teams that were supposed to be Division 1 this year, but one of them isn't really playing a full Division 1 schedule, and I may have that wrong. Okay, development report. Nothing major amongst our current lineup. Gonna swap. Oh, San Luis is. Okay, we're missing San Luis for this game, so that's not great. Oh, January 1st. Oh, okay. It's commitment day. So we've got to go through start the draft up here before we play this game. And if you haven't seen this before, this is how we handle player assignment to teams in college hockey in the game. It looks like a draft. It isn't really, because all you do in the draft is nominate players, and then every other team in the league can compete for them as well, make them scholarship offers. But this is actually the first stage of that, where younger players typically, although there's a few older ones you can see from the 19-year-old, will verbally commit to your team, and then that gives you a big advantage in signing them when they're old enough to play for you. Typically they're 17, 18-year-old season. So we've been doing well enough that should have the top priority here. So yeah, we'll have the first pick overall. Miami, the defending champions, picking second. So what do we got here? It's because of the way the database was set up at this point, we've been having trouble finding good players from Wisconsin. And yeah, see, there we go again. 2 stars only. Definitely got to check that during testing, but I think I've got most of that resolved. Try Upper Midwest US. Okay, there we go. There's going to be a few guys from other Midwestern states. Moina, that defense from Madison of the USHL, looks like he's pretty good. He's 1 star already. Looks like he's from Minnesota. So the Minnesota teams will presumably be going in on him. Try it without the filter. Anybody better than 1 star? Nope. No, he actually looks like the clear-cut number 1. Not producing a ton of points. Looks like he's going to be a pretty good 2-way defenseman. No injury problems, nothing like that. Intelligence score, which you got to watch out for in college, You drop picking somebody below 10, it's very likely they're going to have trouble qualifying academically, but he's a 12, no problem there. Other high potential guys that look interesting. I mean, everybody else is younger and big kid, good two-way defenseman, 17 years old, so he'd be conceivably be with us in a couple of years. So I'm going to nominate him, even though the Minnesota teams will probably be competing for him too. And do we get him? Yes, we do. He verbally committed. So we've got a good shot at recruiting him. Looks like it'll be next year. And I'm just going to ignore the other team's nominations. Presumably they're going to go for the younger guys. Okay, and we've still got one 4 or 5-star guy left, and 13 intelligence. Problem is he's a goalie, and we've already got a bunch of goalies. So kind of looking at these two centers here, one of them looks like he's from BC, and another Canadian kid from Saskatoon or Saskatchewan somewhere. Looks like the BC guy has a little bit more offense. 17, is anybody older? Just that one 17-year-old who's a goalie, so. Oh, that's different. Look at that Filipino kid. Two and a half star potential. That's rare, but they will. The smaller countries will occasionally generate a guy that's like borderline NHL potential, but it's a fairly long shot for it to happen. And yeah, that draft pool's looking really thin.
Oh, that's normal. Gonna stock up on more goalies?
I'm going to grab this kid from BC first, Julian Stevenson. And yes, he does commit to us. Philippe Carrier from Quebec, I guess. I love that. Oh, yep. Excuse me. Yeah, definitely not getting enough American players in here.
Oh, that was something fixed.
Yeah.
I believe you said.
But yeah, let's go with, we've done pretty good with the French Canadian guys, so Carrier does verbally commit to us. Oh, and the other guy we were looking at, McClellan, is still there, so I won't grab him now. Okay, I see one 17-year-old from Quebec lurking there, and 3-star potential, so he'll come to us a little sooner than the other guys, so I'm going to try for him. Yeah, Louis Martin Doyen. Clark's only 15, goalie from Newfoundland. Yeah, I might as well grab him just in case we somehow get thin on goalies. That seems incredibly unlikely, though.
I mean, it's not impossible.
Yeah, you get injuries or if you guys get drafted.
And I mean, a couple of our low guys.
So, Chris Thompson, grab him. What were you going to say?
I said a couple of our low guys aren't necessarily going to be. I mean, our number 4 goalie is 24 already. And we could lose our top 2 guys at any point. They're both 20, 23, 22. Our number 3 goalie's 20, so he's probably sticking around for a year or two.
Okay, this is interesting. I got an 18-year-old here, Joey Quintal, in the Quebec League, Quebec Junior A League. I'm going to take him just in case we need the depth next year.
I like it.
or the year after. I guess he'll be 19 or 20 before he finally gets to us.
Wait, are we in late picks? Jeff, you know what you got to do.
Gonna do one more serious pick. Isaac McEwen, 19-year-old. Okay. Sorting by height.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a potential one. And his name's Adam.
MAHL. East Coast guy?
Yeah. Miramichi. He's from Cornwall, Prince Edward Island. Is he also the heaviest? Nope, one guy's heavier by 1 pound, but
Okay, I was gonna say sort by last names and look for somebody starting with Z.
because that's good criteria for. I'm going to check the bottom end of the scale now.
Oh, wait. There was a guy named Rainbow. Did I just see that?
Brandon Rainbow. I went to school with a guy named Rainbow. He actually started a quarterback for UBC for a couple of years.
Zimmerman. Okay, nice.
We got one guy that's playing in the World Juniors right now, Latvian goalie Fomachenko. Must be a Russian.
Ooh, Xavier Paquette. I'm assuming it's Xavier.
Oh, you were looking for Zed guys? Ooh, there's a game. Good name. Lyndon Zagregan. Zagreg? Yeah, it must be how you say it.
Saskatchewaner. Just scroll up the name or scroll down the names here.
There's only 3 of them: Zimmerman, Zagregan, Zemlak.
Well, I know. I just want to see other names here. Let's see if we can find any fun names.
Actually, let's look for fun nationalities. Anybody? There's that Filipino guy before. It looks like somebody took him.
Yeah.
Italian, German, a big wall of Canadians, and probably I don't know. Wow, no Americans at all.
Nathan Beaulieu was there. It looked like former Winnipeg Jet. Although,
yep, Nathan Beaulieu.
6'4". Wow, I think that's pretty close to what he saw. Changed position and got younger. Wait, Baba? There's a guy named Baba. You have to draft the guy named Baba, Jeff.
Cristiano Baba.
Cristiano Baba. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
15. He's Italian. Probably not going anywhere, but hey, why not? He wants to.
Oh wait, there's a goalie named Bloodoff.
Yeah, there was a decent prospect, Evan Bloodoff. Can't remember, was he in WHL a few years back?
No, nothing about
another maritime guy. He's only half a star though. Is there anybody? Oh, and he's 9. He's not going to really be cut out for college. Oh, your buddy Rainbow here is looks like the best available guy actually.
You mean somewhere over the rainbow?
Somewhere apparently being Victoria, which is where he was playing.
Oh wait, there's a Foo?
We won't get him drafts. That was the last round.
I want to know more about Foo.
FOO?
No, FU.
FU too.
Jeff, it's a family stream.
I don't know if we're going to be able to find him with the...
It was goalie, just his last name was FU.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Wayne Fu, Chilliwack of the BC Junior League. Probably a second or third stringer.
2 games played. Yeah, not doing much.
Okay, monthly budget. No point in bumping up the scouting now that the key thing is done, so we'll just leave that as it is. Can't hurt to spend a couple of points on promotions. Having a great year, so why not bring in a few more people? And San Luis is out, so I'm going to just shuffle lines. I'm going to use the AI lines game. AI lines button inside the game. This doesn't make any permanent changes to your lineup, so it's a good thing to use. That's using that then instead of using the main tactics screen or the main line screen to make your line changes. It's a good way to deal with short-term injuries or player absences. And, oh, narrow, 2-0 win against LIU. And the verbal commitments. Yeah, see, it's definitely it's showing the potential relative to the league they're currently in. That's why Baba is saying 5 stars there. I'm gonna try to get that fixed this year. Oh, that's odd. Moina, the #1 guy, is only showing 3.5 stars. Potential to relative to the USHL. Hopefully that's nothing to be worried about. It'd be kind of disappointing if he doesn't work out.
Well, that's why you draft lots of guys.
No, we do that
Actually,
because the NHL steals them.
Well, I think we should be cranking up how much guys get.
Guys get? What do you mean?
No, how many times guys bust in drafts.
There's ways we can do that, but it's kind of like the injuries problem. It's great having realistic injuries until it happens to you, and then everyone hates it.
Well, again, there was a study showing like of all. Again, we talked about this a long time ago, but it said of every player drafted, I think it was only 51% have played one NHL game.
Surprised it's that high. Sweden beating the U.S. Was that in the playoff game? Must have been. No, it was a round robin game. So San Luis had no points, and the U.S. is now got a loss in Sweden. Is Sweden and Canada the only undefeated teams? And the players just acquiring new nationalities. This is just a thing that happens primarily with players who are sitting in a country for a while and eventually get a second nationality. There's another step after this where they can, if they're, say, a Canadian playing in a smaller hockey country, they can also switch their national team preference. So, but that doesn't happen at this stage. This is only getting the extra nationality. Well, a ton of them for Australia. Although that's, yeah, because we've got the... there's that weird thing with... Oh, no, that's an old... Yeah, just a quirk of the old database, I think. Okay. Redo the lines again. Let's give Cam the second game against Long Island. And 4-1 win. Not getting quite the blowout wins anymore, although it probably is partially because San Luis is gone. But 20-0 to start the season. I wonder what the record is for winning streak in college hockey. And the NHL undefeated one is, what, 34, 35 games by the Flyers in 79?
Sounds right.
And they didn't even win the cup that year.
The year they lost to Montreal.
No, that was like 2 years before. No, wait, farther back than that. 80 was the first Islanders Cup. 79 was
I thought you said Flyers.
Montreal over the Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah, but Montreal was dominating the 70s too, were they not?
Yeah, 76 through 79, and then the Rangers or the Islanders, sorry, for 4 years after that. College hockey poll should still be #1, and San Luis has 2 points in the win. Close win over Germany, surprisingly close, and another close one over Finland. He didn't have any points, but he had a 79 game rating. So San Luis having a pretty good tournament. And Notre Dame keep the win streak going. 10-2 win. 5 points for Kaplan, for the guy whose career was potentially in jeopardy. Yeah, he's pretty much turned that around. Is he draft eligible this year or was he last year? I'd have to go and take a look at that.
Who's that? Sorry.
Kaplan. The guy that had was creating the team harmony problem the first year. That was literally the first thing he did in the program. And sat out for a couple of years now. He's 20 and...
Yeah, he's 20, yeah. So he can still get drafted.
Yeah. Well, probably wind up signing as a free agent somewhere after he leaves us, but good for him. And second game against Notre Dame.
He was a WHL draft prospect too.
And 5-1 in the second game with the backup in. 22 games in a row, no losses. Think I can get a perfect season?
No. Perfect season would mean that you would win both championships, and that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, the conference tournament and the... I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the conference tournament. There's just nobody in this conference. It's been remote. Well, Michigan State was within a couple of goals, but everybody else would been wiping out. I think there'd be some interest in Elias, or starting goalie too, because he's graduating this year. And he's a Czech, so he can go back there, but I think a North American team would want to take a chance on him. Guy's got a .85 goals against average in his senior year.
Yeah. There's been surprisingly a large amount. Was it Swedish goaltenders who've been infiltrating the NCAA?
And you mentioned I'd maybe have to fiddle with the college junior Europe preferences for the European players again. Although I did do that, I think, in the last couple of patches, so it may be okay now. And 3-1 win over Slovakia. San Luis has a couple of points. That must be the playoff round by now. Yep. Oh, it's over. So, oh, we missed the. Okay, so the U.S. second. Canada. No, Sweden is the only team that goes undefeated through the round robin. They beat Russia in the first round. And then Slovakia to go to the final. Canada beats Germany, and then the U.S. loses to Canada. The other semifinal, and Sweden wins the World Juniors. 4-3. And anybody interesting on that? I don't know, the team's already broken up. I have to look at the tournament stats. San Luis was 5th in tournament scoring. Noah Kozik, who I think is a real guy, playing for Vancouver, the WHL, and he is a first rounder from Tampa. Yeah, 13th overall by the Lightning. See, LeBay, Chenier, surprisingly, yeah, the top couple of Swedes in there. One guy who's playing in the AHL. Looks like he belongs to the Leafs. And another guy playing in Sweden, despite looking, well, it's pretty impressive. Well, it's 5-star. Those 5 stars are from a college perspective, so that might be a little bit off. Oh, Jets pick, second rounder.
Nice.
And a big reach because he was apparently supposed to go number 128 overall in the mock draft. But Jets may be right on that because he apparently had a pretty good tournament. How's the World Junior Tournament been going in this? The U.S. has won it 3 times since we started. Canada only once. Oh, has been in the final 4 times. That's Sweden's first, and the Czechs won once. And nobody threatening Forsberg's all-time point total. Okay, so we should have San Luis back for this, I think. Yep, Sheldrake can come out. And I'm gonna reset the lines. Yeah, I think that should be good. All right, another conference game against Minnesota. Another big wipeout, 7-0. Yeah, there's no way we're losing this conference tournament. No chance whatsoever. I'm sure that won't come back to bite me, right?
Oh, probably not at all. Never happens.
And as well as we've been doing, San Luis is 10 points back of the national scoring lead. That guy from Yukon needs to buy a vowel. Conrad Fondrick. 50 points in 22 games. He must be drafted. Third rounder by the Devils. So this is that's his junior year. So we'll see if he comes back for another one. But I think New Jersey may be grabbing him. And finally got an injury. Something goes wrong. Everything's been going right up to this point. Oh, I got a couple. Lindstrom with a bruised jaw. I'll put the other Swede, Franzen, in for him for one game. San Michel has somehow dehydrated himself. He's only day-to-day, so he can stay in. And Akason has bruised a toe, so no serious injuries. Just a few guys a little banged up in the second game. Oops, did I not do that? No, didn't. Oh, sure, this was already in the lineup. Did I? Okay. I need to put in Sheldrake. Just trying to get some Sheldrake some playing time to get him up off that half-star rating. Oh, that was an arrow one. 4-3 win over Minnesota. Outshot them pretty handily, but that's the closest we've come to losing or even tying one this year. And Minnesota looks like they're the number 2 team in the conference right now. Although we did have a few players out for that still. I don't know if I'm going to hang on to this winning streak.
Here's hoping, Jeff. Here's hoping.
And one good guy Michigan State has is third in the country at scoring now. Actually, San Michel passed San Luis while San Luis was over at the World Juniors. That'll probably fix itself shortly. And a couple of the injured guys almost back. Defending champion Miami, number 2 in the country, now behind us. So that's a potentially tough final against them if that happens. So I think they brought most of their team back this year. And injuries coming along nicely, that's good.
So there's hope, that's what you're saying.
24-0, and we're saying, oh, there's hope. Okay, Atkinson can. Oh no, he'll set that out still. He's only 80%. The other should be fine. Franzen goes out for Lindstrom. And Michigan State, another one of the potentially decent teams in the conference, but easily handled. 5-1 win, and Lindstrom's back in the lineup, has 3 assists. be safe, I'm going to go with the starter again in the second game.
Man, he has still been the biggest surprise on this team, I think.
Who?
Lindstrom.
I mean, you knew he was going to get some points this year as long as he didn't completely screw it up, because he just sort of fell into that number one center spot when Gosek left. And the other guy, Arlick, didn't qualify academically. He was the only competition for it. Okay, Atkinson got back in. Second game against Michigan State, 6-1 win. And yeah, Atkinson was healthy, 3 points. Well, Penn State having a rough year, 4-22. And Fondrick at UConn still way out in front in the league point scoring race. They had our guys by 11 points. And then there's somebody from Anchorage, Alaska. Ruchinsky from Miami of Ohio, I think was the best player in the playoffs last year. Humphreys, the Michigan State guy, and then a couple others.
Oh, P. Wog shows up and says, "Go Wings, go Blue."
I haven't looked at the NHL in a while. What's going on there?
P. Wog, you'll be happy to know I got my tickets for the Red Wings game this year already.
Sorry, P-Wog, Wings aren't doing too well in this one. 21-24 in the NHL and 27-28. Jack Hughes leading the league in scoring. And the Canucks second in the Pacific, but it looks like a really weak division. Ooh, Jets dead last in Central. What's happened to them? Hellebuck's still there. Cole Perfetti working out pretty well. Kyle Connor still there. Ehlers still there. Chaz Lucius.
Was that Elias Samuelson who was hurt? I missed that really quick.
Salomonson.
So I said.
Yeah.
Wait, how did Hronek get there? Ooh, their defense is awful.
Harkins in a 4th rounder for Hronek in the 7th.
That's not a bad trade. That's a pretty good trade, actually.
Well, Morrissey's still there, although this was pre last season, so his
yeah, but I'm
ratings
like
are
looking at the.
there. But yeah, I know.
Okay, fine. Guanke is gone off the team. Oh, Joey Veleno's on there too. What a weird Detroit-centric.
How did he get there?
Free agent, maybe?
Yeah, Wings let him go. He was up and down, looks like, constantly between Detroit and Grand Rapids, although he was... no, they didn't re-sign him after... Oh, no, that's his first unrestricted free agency year, and it looks like he got a contract and he's doing nothing with it.
How many minutes is he playing?
Sorry, minutes per game you want to see? Oh,
Well,
nine minutes a game. Yeah, they're not giving him any ice time.
So he's playing 4th line.
Yeah. So good roster management. Signed an expensive free agent and...
Well, 1.7 is not a terrible
for
signing for 3 years.
And we're still number 1 in the country. Second game against Notre Dame. Cam can go in for the start. And 7-1 win. Going with another 4 points. Oh, this is the first game of that series. Didn't we just play Notre Dame? Okay, second game for real against Notre Dame this time. And 6-0 win. And The lack of depth at center hurts us again. Lindstrom is hurt for 1 to 2 weeks. So I'll replace him with Franzen, but I will shuffle the lines around during the games because I don't really want Franzen on the first line. Because he is not the other Johan Franzen. And I don't think that's his son. I think it's just somebody with a coincidental name. And scoring race tightening up after Fondrick, who's running away with it now. He's up by 14 points and he's apparently got a 15-game point streak going, according to that article.
Not bad at all.
I'll check in a second, see how UConn is doing. Looks like one of his line mates, Richard, is up there too. Goal scoring leader race is pretty tight. San Luis is up by 1. Development report. Looking for the active roster guys. That's good. Ascot is, and what is his? I think he's a redshirt freshman. True freshman. 27 points in his first 28 games. Pretty good. And yeah, nice development everywhere else. Still number 1, and Caden Aucoin is the offensive player of the month, and Rastus Avilias, the defensive player of the month. So we get both of them.
Nice. That's back-to-back months for your goaltender, I believe. And forwards are probably different.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, UConn 25-3. So I wonder, with all the stuff that's going on with football realignment, if that's going to affect hockey any. Because it looks like the Pac. It's the Pac.
Pac-12 is down to 4.
It's down to like the Pac. Yeah, Pac 3, Pac 4. Possibly soon to be the Pac 2. Somebody, I saw the ACC was going after a couple of the teams. So looks like that might be done. That's too bad.
They might recover at some point. I don't know why everyone's leaving. Just for more
money.
Hope. Well, yeah, I guess, but
28 wins in a row. I also want to check how many games we got left this season. Oh, and we got
softball for Big Ten 2, Pewauk says.
Schedule.
Oh, we're just about out of time here.
Yep, just saying. Yeah, we got 6 games left in the season, so next time will be the playoffs. And we got a soft game to end it out because it's Penn State, 4-24 Penn State against 28-0 Wisconsin, looking to make it 30 games in a row. Although the starting center is out, so we'll juggle that around. Looks like Kaplan gets the number 1 spot. And an easy 4-0 shutout win. Caden Aucoin, who's been having a great year, gets first star, and Kaplan in the top center spot gets second. And I think I'll throw a game to my third stringer here. I think it's one of the Quebec guys. Yeah, Seguin like Carbeau. Or is, I remember Redshirt leaves at the end of the season if I don't. No, maybe I don't, because that bit me last year when I had redshirted a guy at the end of the year because he hadn't played any games, and then he didn't academically qualify next year, and I couldn't redshirt him academically, and he had to leave. So maybe you won't do that, but let's swap. So Adelius watches one from the press box, and Seguin Carbeau against Penn State. And a little scary 6-3 win. And they put up 3 goals against the third stringer on only 13 shots. So kind of made Penn State look good there, but we kept our win streak going 30 games in a row. I think probably a good place to leave it off. You want to wrap it up there, Adam?
Yeah. Thank you very much for tuning into the Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments, and every other week on our Steam page. You can find all of our streams archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well, with archives going live on Sundays at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for European viewers and everybody else once they wake up. Or maybe you're working late and you need something on. You can also reach out and talk to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, yes, it's still Twitter. We're at Franchise Hockey.
It's X.
You can find us on we are on what's the other one? Threads now, although we haven't posted much yet, but you can find us on there. We're on Instagram as well. Yeah, you can, and more than anything, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums, where you come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Did I miss anything there, Jeff?
So Cade McCoy has broken into the scoring leaders. 47 points in 30 games in his freshman year. And he must have been a draft pick. He was, number 8 first rounder by Nashville. So please don't steal him from us. He's only 2.5 stars. So maybe Nashville isn't going to rush him. I mean, he's putting up points because the rest of the team is around him is doing great. But he's actually slipped ahead of San Michelle, who's maybe leveling off. He's got 4 games left, and he's just matched his point total from last year. There's Kaplan, having his comeback year. Skahan, our captain. I think this is his senior year, and he's having a great one. Previous career high, 12 points. He's up to 34 now. Everson, another senior, having a good conclusion to his career. And Lindstrom, who seems to keep getting... Has he got injured now? Doesn't look potentially like he's injury prone or anything. He's just gotten hit a lot this year. Oh, and so he's not even Swedish. He's American. Somebody was Swedish. He's from Wisconsin, even Chippewa Falls.
Yeah, I think that was the reason why you drafted him.
Yeah, local guy. Okay, that's worked out. I didn't even. I just saw the name and I assumed he's Swedish. But
forgot. All right, Jeff. I think we're in a pretty good spot for the next time we come back to the stream be very interesting.
Yep, to crash out of the national tournament in the first round, like we keep like it's going happen most of the way in times here. But yeah, other than that, I think you covered everything. I'll be back next week with Adam's Columbus game. I haven't been around the forums much lately. Sorry about that. I'll try to get in there in the next day or two. Just that time of year where there's a lot of stuff going on with the FHM10 development, and spread a little thin because there's a couple of other things going on I've had to take care of that I didn't expect to be, but still coming along pretty good, but just eating into my time right now, but I will be around fairly soon, so thanks for putting up with that. So thanks for coming out, everybody, and we will see you back in a week from now.